EQ Video Tip. I'm your host, Eric Forsetter. As always, it's great to have you back for another terrific show. Before we get into this week's tip, let's review the goals of EQ Video Tip. What's on tap today? We have a great show, and it comes to us from Tony Gambill, who's going to talk about leadership in the storm and how to navigate challenging situations. We'll go through several different challenging situations and ways to understand yourself and be better at navigating through those challenges. Let's jump into some of Tony's great article. Tip number 1. Understand the emotional triggers that are consistently causing us frustration, anger, anxiety within the workplace environment. This could mean something like you're being micromanaged, or you get a barrage of emails, or it could be you get a ding on your email that it's time to go to a meeting. Whatever it might be, you need to understand those triggers, and then what happens with it. Are you clenching your jaw? Do you stop breathing as much? Do you have that pit in your stomach? Whatever that might be, understand those emotional triggers, because that will help us as we work through the rest of these tips. Tip number 2, label your emotions. It's so important to label them and to name them. There's actually a quick saying out there that says, name it to tame it. And what we mean by that is when you can name that emotion, whether it's anxiety or stress or fear, then you can actually tame it because you understand what you're actually trying to overcome. And it's important, as we said before, is to understand what's causing the stress and then name the type of stress or anxiety that you have that's coming from that emotion or from that trigger. So remember, name it to tame it. Tip number 4, one of the ones we always use, breathe. Take a deep breath before you have to act and respond to something, because a lot of times we just want to do that reactionary movement as opposed to responding to someone. So when you find yourself in that stressful situation, take a moment to calm yourself, calm your mind, calm your emotions, and relax. Now, it's not easier said than done. So when you find those triggers coming off and you label that emotion, take a moment, take a deep breath, or maybe 2, hopefully for like 60 seconds before you actually respond and do anything. Again, deep breath like this. Enjoy. Our last tip, choose the best intention before your action. And it's so important, like we just said, you're going to take that deep breath, but then after that, think about what are my long-term goals for this person, for this group, for this trigger that's happening, and then what are my best intentions for my next interaction with this person, with this group, or whatever it is that's triggering it. When you think in that mindset and you choose your best intention before acting, it'll help you overcome those obstacles and avoid that fight or flight syndrome that we all have out there. Thanks. That's a wrap for this week's EQ Video Tip. Hopefully you enjoyed the tips as well. Again, here's a quick review of the tips and, of course, customize them to make them yours. So that concludes our EQ Video Tip for today. Try incorporating some of these tips into your daily routine. But remember, use what works best for you and personalize it for yourself. Thank you always to our great research team for providing us with some great tips today. As always on EQ Video Tip, we want to end with gratitude. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Here are some resources that you can use if you want more information on EQ going forward. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.